I want to talk about our neighbor, a kind neighbor in San Francisco. His name was Jamaal. There were two brothers. Younger brother, Yusuf, I think his name was, I don't remember. But Jamaal, I remember. He was a tall, big Lebanese, had a wife, a very beautiful wife. Her name, I don't remember, but she loved Nargis from film Avara. And she also loved Sangam, the film, Raj Kapoor film. I remember that. So we lived in the same building upstairs, and at the corner there was the shop. He had a little, how would you say, a convenience store type, a little extended convenience store. They sold almost everything a person needs in a hurry, including beer and whiskey and milk and buttermilk and yogurt and chips and dips and sandwiches and, a lot of different things. And since we were neighbors, we used to frequent the place very often. Now, you know how it is when you are students. Often you don't have any money on you. So I would go to Jamaal and say, Jamaal, don't have any money, but I'll give you a check. Can I buy a few things? He said, sure. So I would write him a check, a personal check. And then I'll say, Jamaal, don't put this in the bank till Monday. This would be sometime, say, Wednesday. He said, oh, okay. So I would get a few things. Milk, usually none of us drank, so we didn't care for beer or whiskey or anything. It was either milk or bread or eggs or something like that. So then next Monday or even on Tuesday, if I went there, he would say, hey, Jimmy, you want me to put this in the bank now? I said, oh, Jamaal, no. 1 more week, please. Give me some time. So he would smile and say, okay. That's how we were. Then in our apartment, we were 3 of us, and we had a big glass jar, and we would throw in pennies, copper pennies, cents. And usually in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, a month's time, the jar will be considerably full. So it was my job to take the jar downstairs to Jamaal and say, Jamaal, how much? Count this. He said, no, I'm not going to count. I said, come on, I can't count. You have a machine. He said, no. How much do you think it is? I would ask him. He said, oh, $2. I said, come on, Jamaal, this is $10. He said, no, we'll haggle, very friendly haggle. And then we will end up $5 or $6. And he'll give me the $6 and take the jar and just empty it in a bowl he had. And then he would he said, don't bring any more pennies. I don't need them. What do I do with all these pennies? I said, Jamaal, what do we do with you? You are a businessman. You need pennies to pay back to your customers. We don't. And some of these pennies have come from you only. So he would laugh and say, okay, get out of here. Jamaal, he did us a lot of favors. A lot of times, we couldn't pay, and he said, that's all right, Sing me a song, his wife would say. Sangam song. So I would sing, O Mehbooba, tere dil ke paas hi hai meri manzil masood. He said, oh, and the other one. So I will, like there are people, customers, and I'm standing on the side of the counter, and singing, and he and she are enjoying. And the customers kind of say, "Oh, it's good. You sound good, man. What language is that?" They would ask me. And then he would make me sing Avara hum da 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 Avara hum. He was a very serious guy otherwise, but a very friendly person. His wife too was very friendly. I don't remember having seen their children at the store, but he did have a younger brother, and he was a crook because we always found him pilfering money. And I often thought of telling this to Jamal, but I didn't want to create a problem between the two brothers, so I just didn't say anything. I'm sure Jamal was a nice guy, but his wife was nice, but she was very shrewd. So I'm sure she knew that. I'm sure she did. She was aware of that. Then I was going to move from that place to another apartment. So I told Jamal, I said, "Jamal, do I owe you anything?" He said, "No, everything is squared." I think, okay. I went to the Indian store and bought 2 long play records for him and his wife, Avara and Sangam, as she used to say. "Sing me a song from Sangam." So I got 2 long play records for them. And he said, "Oh, how much do I owe you for this?" I said, "Jamal, come on. This is my gift to you guys. You guys were so nice to us." Not only to me, it was nice to my roommates too. But him and I, we had a special bond because I could ask him questions about Arabic language, and ask him about some Arabic music. And I would ask him about how to play rabab, so he and I, we connected very well, and with his wife too. She was a little modern. He was an old-fashioned guy, big guy, as I said. I'll dig up a picture if I can and put it on a thumbnail. I don't know, but I still remember Jamal very well. People used to call him John, I believe. In the among the whites, he was known as John. Because I remember in the beginning, I said, "Your name is not John. What is your real Arab name?" So he looked at him and said, "My name is Jamal." I said, "Okay, Jamal, I'll call you Jamal." He must be about 15 years older to me. So I once asked him, I said, "How do I call you respectfully? Like, we have different ways of saying sir." He said, "Don't worry, we are friends, Okay. We remained friends. I hope they are doing well. I hope they have gone into a bigger business. I tried to look it up this time when I was in San Francisco, but the shop is still there, but they don't own it anymore. And I inquired, but they didn't know. It must change hands so many times. How do you find it? Person like him. Jamal is the only thing I know about him. I think his wife's name was Nargis, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not too sure. But he was Jamal for sure. Anyways, that is how neighbors are, and that's how neighbors treat each other, right? Bye. Oh!